Here we are going to talk about Microsoft 365 Fast Track development in React. Before we begin the session, I would like to introduce myself. I'm a Microsoft certified Azure architect, blogger, speaker, and PMP certified professional with 15 plus years of experience. I love sharing my knowledge in the areas of Microsoft Azure, Office 365, development, modern digital development areas. Today, we are going to talk about the Microsoft 365 Fast Track development in React. And Microsoft 365 and SharePoint is one of my favorite area. So this is the agenda what we are going to cover today. So today we are going to have we'll give a background. I'll give you the background about why, how, and what is that we are going to talk, and then I'll give you the fast track development evolution of Microsoft 365. We'll get into the Microsoft Graph Toolkit components because this is the base at which where the fast track development can happen, and there are Microsoft Graph Toolkit components. I'll talk about the providers, and also I'll give you the cool demo, and we will have mm, the playground as well. So before I start, just yeah, let me know. Yeah. So I'll start with the background. Okay. So for a given any given technology, these are the things which comes to mind when we are developing an application or whenever we are adopting a new technology. So what is the new technology? What it has brought to us? How are we going to implement? And why should we adopt that particular, or why should we go for the development using that technology? So these are the three criterias that we would first try to get into, and once we have the answers for this, then we choose our path and move forward. So taking that into consideration, I'll start with what. So consider you're developing a React application where you would like to pull the information um, from the Microsoft 365, or you would like to push any information to Microsoft 365. Either it be a SharePoint, either it be an Outlook event, either you want to create a Teams channel, or you want to post messages to Teams channel. You would like to use the people picker functionality of Azure Active Directory, and so on and so forth. So for this, I will take an example of calendar. Okay, taking the events from your Outlook calendar, or creating the events from your Outlook calendar. Consider that as an example. For that, if you think of developing an application using React, what we would need to do, we would need to handle the authentication part. First and foremost, we would handle the authentication part. We would like to know if the user is authenticated. If user is not authenticated, we will check the properties here. So this is, I'm giving you an example of a single page application which I had built earlier. This is from the sample tutorial for Microsoft. So from there, I have built this application, and these were the steps which I had to take when I was trying to build an application. So in this, what I have done is, first, what I need to do is I need to check whether the user is authenticated. If the user is not authenticated, we would like to authenticate that user first. Okay, so that we are going to use here in the navigation bar, whether checking whether the user is authenticated. Then once the user is authenticated, we would need to write a function where we would need to include the Microsoft Graph APIs, and then um, write a component to pull the details. At least in the login component, we see that we would need a display name, we would need mailbox, email address, or the sign out button. So all this information for the logged in user, how we can get that? We would need to call the API. Okay, a me API, and then get the display name, mailbox settings, and so on and so forth. So once we get that, information. Now what we want to do is we want to get all the events from the calendar. Okay, so to get that all the events, I would write one more component to get the data from the to get the data from the Microsoft 365, the logged in user. So I would get so the way I would write is I would initiate a call to the API with this, where I'm getting all my events, and I am going to arrange it using the subject organizer who has organized it, what is the start time, what is the end time, and I'll take all my events. Okay, so once I get my events, and this is like the response for that, and I will iterate it through pages. If the events are more than 50, then I will iterate through the events. Okay, so this is the third component which I'll write to get the calendar view. Now consider that to write the writing time for this. Okay, if not weeks, it will take days to complete the whole application, where you have the add, edit, update for the Microsoft for the events. Okay, so I need to pull the data, I need to create an event, I need to update the event, I need to delete the event, and also get all the information from the from Microsoft 365. Okay, so with the authentication functionality. So considering this, it would take a lot of time for us. Now, all these problems of these developers, where the same thing you would need to do, you would need to create, you need to define the scopes, you need to raise the, you need to call the endpoints, and you need to get the data, and also have that data created and structured in a presentable manner. So these were the things what we need to do. To help developers to develop these kind of functionality, Microsoft has introduced a Microsoft Graph Toolkit. So this Microsoft Graph Toolkit, what it does is it not only pulls the data, it helps you to not only get the Microsoft 365 data from your application, but it also for the logged in user or for the external users, it not only gets the data from the Office 365, but also it will help you to show it in a presentable manner. These are the so that's how it has evolved. I'll talk about the fast track development evolution, but that with the Microsoft Graph Toolkit, this is what you can do. So in short, if we can say, this was developed with the intention to help developers of all experience levels. If you want to develop a web application, Microsoft Teams tab, or if you want to develop a SharePoint web part that connects to Microsoft Graph, anything you can develop with this Microsoft Graph Toolkit with the components which are available. Okay, so in short, to define the Microsoft Graph Toolkit, I would say it is a collection of reusable and framework agnostic web components. This is important. This is framework agnostic. That means you can write it into an HTML, you can write it into a React framework, you can write it into Angular. You can write it in any modern framework, and it is platform framework agnostic, and that helps users to access and working with Microsoft Graph and get the data from the Office 365. And this not only that these components are available and you can get the data, but also these components are extensible, customizable with the templating, and you can apply your custom enterprise branding to these templates. Okay, so let's talk about the fast track development. So if we see the evolution of Microsoft 365 development, Microsoft Graph API was introduced. So Microsoft Graph API was introduced to provide a unified programmability model that can be used to access tremendous amount of data in Microsoft 365, Windows 10, enterprise mobility, security. So this was the one endpoint by using which you could access all the Microsoft 365 data. So this is kind of an endpoint which rules all. Okay. But now consider a scenario where you would like to use this Graph API in your application and you want to pull the data because you want to interact with the Microsoft 365 data. So for that, what would you need first? first you would need to finalize what is your auth flow. Okay, are you going to do a code flow? Are you going to have an implicit flow? That is the first thing you would need to decide when you're using Microsoft Graph API. After that, then you would need to write a code to send the request to Microsoft Graph endpoint. In this, you will take care of the authentication, the issuing of the tokens, which we just saw, that the issuing of the tokens and packing up the authentication, sending of the request and getting the response back. Also, you would need to implement a sort of response coming back to the Microsoft Graph and packaging packaging that object. So once you get the response back, you would also need to package those objects and also handle the errors. You would need to write the exception handling, and you would need to consider multiple scenarios, like connectivity, token expiry, caching, those things. So considering all these scenarios, what Microsoft did is they have had, uh, to help the developers. What Microsoft did is they provided the Microsoft Graph SDK. So what this Microsoft Graph SDK does is it helps to simplify, build high quality, efficient, resilient applications accessing the Microsoft Graph. So you need not have to worry about the token expiry. You need not have to worry about the connectivity, and that low level coding which you're doing for sending the request and getting the response back, those are handled by the Microsoft Graph SDK. And then this Graph SDK will help you to it provides you the libraries, that contain models, request builders, and also it has features for enhancing and working with all the Graph API services. Either you can call SharePoint, you can call Outlook, and all those. So those you can initiate the request using Graph SDKs, and you need not have to worry about accessing or the complete flow of it. That will be taken care by SDK. However, this Microsoft Graph SDKs, those are language specific. Java has its SDK, the Android has its SDK, the Node.js has its SDK, and so on and so forth. So these SDKs are designed to take care for the general, plumbing kind of task when you're making the calls to the Graph API, like making authentication request, handling the responses, report if anything goes wrong. So all this can be done with few lines of code. We have seen that in the code snippet as well. We have called the .api, and then we have initiated the request, and everything about sending the request, handling the response is taken care by the SDK. Okay. Now, I'm just talking about. So I'm talking about the fast track development. So we first talked about how we can get the data from Office 365. Graph API was introduced. So to make the multiple calls and all other request response, SDK was introduced. But SDK is only taking so these are moreover, these SDKs are going to give you the general plumbing task, right? So then Microsoft Graph Toolkit is introduced. So this is the newest thing which is added for the added in the development tool set. Okay, it is developed on top of Microsoft Graph API and Graph SDK. Okay, it not only use these SDKs, these Microsoft Graph SDKs to make the calls, but also inherits the beautiful UI and renders the components on the browser. So it will not only take care of the making calls part, the general plumbing task, but it will also help you to render it on your browser with a beautiful, Microsoft kind of UI with Office UI, Office Fabric UI, which is now we call it as Fluent UI, but that kind of UI you get with Microsoft Graph Toolkit. So it connects the Graph API and renders the data that looks and feels like Microsoft 365 experience. And you need not have to do any customization if you don't have to. Like whatever is available out of the box, It is beautiful, and you can get the data, and it is rendered on the screen, where you need not have to do uh, where you need not have to write so many lines of code to have that control on the screen. So just to give you the snippet of it, what I'll do is I'll show you the part. Okay, so if you are seeing my screen, this is one line, the MGT login. This is a single line of code where when you write this single line of code, you will get the whole login component. The signing out of the user, the signing in of the user, authentication part, it is all taken care by this MGT login. Or if you want to display the agendas, this is the code what you can write. Okay, so as it is said that lot of things are easier seen than said, right? So we will jump into our demo. I'll just initiate, I'll start creating the React app, as well as then I'll talk about the MGT components which are available. So let me know. Okay, so I've already created the demo folder. So I'll start from here. Okay, so what I'm going to in this demo, what I'm going to show is it is now the fast track development of Office 365. How easily you can do the development of getting the data from Microsoft 365, render it on your screen without writing tons of lines of codes. So first, what I'll do is I'll write the I'll just create the basic React app. And I'll use the template as TypeScript so that it will help us to. Okay. So I've executed this command. I'm creating the app called build demo. And this will create the React application for us, the vanilla React application. So until the scaffolding happens, let's go ahead and I'll talk about the MGT components. So as I said that Microsoft Draft Toolkit, these are the reusable framework agnostic web components. So these are the all web components what are available. We have web component called login, which will give you the authentication, which will handle all the authentication part of it. We have person, agenda, tasks, people picker, person card, channel picker. So these are the different components which are available. So for example, tasks will give you either your planner task, or if you want your to-do tasks, we can get with a single line of code. We can have the whole people picker functionality with the people picker component. We can get the person card, like you can see the email address, the name of the person, the phone number, and also customize the additional properties in the person card. We can have the channel picker of the teams. Like if you have created a teams and you have multiple channels in the team, you can have you can see that with the channel picker. Okay, and then if you see, I have highlighted MGT get in red bold. The reason is it is very important, and really useful component, because with MGTGet, these are the standalone components, where you can get person, people, agenda. These are fixed for, they have their own use. But with MGTGet, you can make a call to any endpoint to Microsoft 365, get the data and display it as per the requirement. Like, you can customize the data. Once you get back the data, you can use the templates and customize the data from that. You can customize once you get the data, the template, with the template, you can, as per your needs, you can modify the look and feel of it, and it can be rendered on the screen. So if you want data from Office, like if you want the data from SharePoint, you want the data from OneDrive, you can just use this MGT component and make a call and get the data back. Okay, let's go back to our scaffolding and we'll see. Okay, it's still in progress, so we'll by the time we'll talk about I'll talk about the providers. So there are 4 types of providers. Okay, the MCell provider. Okay, so MCell provider uses the MCell JS in the background, and with MCell JS, so it is Microsoft authentication library .js. So that JS is used to make the calls and get the data. We also have a SharePoint provider, Teams provider, proxy provider, and we can also have so Teams provider is used. Let's go one by one. So MSL provider, you can use it in your single page applications or in your HTML and use the client ID and initiate the calls and get the data and render the data in your components. In SharePoint provider, you would not need the client ID, because the user is already authenticated. You are in the context of SharePoint, and your components will be rendered in the context of will already have the user context. So then you would need then SharePoint provider is different than MCell provider, and you can use this provider to make calls to Graph API and get the data. If you're writing any Teams tab, or an extension in the Teams, you can use Teams provider, where you can make the call and you can create your own tab, or you can create your own app into Teams provider, into Teams, using this provider. So proxy provider is used in the where you have your own set of authentication, and proxy provider will give you get authenticated, and it will send you back the authentication tokens. So then in that case, the proxy provider is used, or you can write your own custom provider. Okay, so you can write your own custom provider. You can decide when the user logs in, if you want to put some logic behind, then custom provider is the best option to go with. Then you can, when the user is authenticated, you can also add your additional logic and then send back whether the user is authenticated, and all those additional business logics can be written for the custom provider. And say your legacy application, if it already has an authentication, you can in that scenarios also you can use the custom provider, because your system will authenticate and finally provide the tokens to this custom provider, and it can then pass on the authentication information. Okay, so let me see whether I have this scaffolding ready. Fine. Okay, let me switch on to. Okay, I am into build demo now. So let me open this application from build demo. Okay. So we have this vanilla React application created. Now we will start writing the code using our Microsoft Graph toolkit. Okay, So first, what we need to do here is, so we have this app.tsx and we have this index.txs, right? So here, the first step will be to add the provider. Okay, so the provider will give us the uh, to acquire the tokens. The authentication part of it is, as I was explaining, the providers will help you to sign in the users and get the authentication token. So we will do that part first. Okay, so the first step for that is we need to install the npm package. So there was one more package. Let me add that package first and then we'll start. So this Microsoft MQT, this is the package which will give us the, when using this, we can add this provider. So we'll go ahead and add the provider. Okay. Last time it took 7 seconds for me. I'm hoping it's done fast. Meanwhile, I'll just go ahead and I'll start writing the code. It will throw an error, but once it is resolved, I think we should be good. I'll add the providers, and then in this case, I'm going to use mcell provider. Go ahead and instantiate it. It's a global provider. So here, what we are going to do is, we are going to have this, we would need to have the config entry for this. Okay, so let me go ahead and add the config entry. So the config entry is for client ID, and I have already created the Azure Active Directory application and assigned the permissions. So I will share the details of that. At the end of the references, I have the link for where you can see how you would like to, if you want to create, or if you're not aware of how to create the Azure Active Directory application, you can refer to that. So now I have defined my provider. So let me go back to the app.tsx. Okay, here I'll remove all the unwanted code. Let me import the first we'll go ahead and import the start with the login component. Okay, so we are going to get here, we'll get the login component first. So we'll go with this. And let's have so I'm assuming it is MGT. So we'll have the login component first. Okay, so we'll have this login component and this creating. And let me have this login. And then I'll fire up. Yes, I'm expecting a local host file here, and it's already opened. Okay. So I'll start from the beginning. So let me start it from here. Okay. It's taking time to load, and because this is the first time we have created the application and running, it will take time in the first loading, but I think after that it should be faster. So here we have our little sign in button. So what we have done so far, let's recap, okay, just for our understanding. What we have done here is we have created, we went here and we have added a provider, a global provider with the client ID, which has this information. And then we have provider and MSL provider added. So MSL provider, because we are using it in a single page application. And once that is done, we came here, and then we have in the application, we have just added one tag. Okay, that the only tag with what we have added here is this is MGT login. Okay, this is the simple tag what we have added. And also, if you see, there is few code added here. So what this code, the TypeScript will not understand the custom elements. You know, when we have created, it will not understand. So for that, so when you're creating an application, whenever you're creating a React application, React implements its own synthetic event system. You know, it cannot listen to the DOM events coming from custom elements. So without using the workaround. So this is our workaround. So if you see here, you will need to use a ref to reference the toolkit components and manually attach the event listeners. So if you want to attach the event listeners, you can add event listener, and then you can add this. So this is using this, you can add MGT login. Once you add it as any, then you can use the component. So once you add this, your login component is ready. And now I'll go ahead and sign in. Okay. So because I have not specified any client scope, I have not given the I have just given the client ID, and we have the complete authentication mechanism ready. Okay, so you're here, and now I'm able to log in. Okay. So not only this, like the functionality which I have shown in my first slide, where I have shown where I need to write 4 to 6 lines of code to get my display name, my email address, and the sign out functionality. So all this is can be done using this single line of code, and that's what I call the fast track development. You write single line of code, you include the packages, the npm packages, and write single of line of code, and this is available to you. Okay, you can use sign out, you can use sign in functionality, and the user is signed out, and you can sign out the user, and you can sign in. So you have the sign in sign out functionality in a single line of code. Okay, we have 8 minutes, so I'll just go ahead and log in, and I'll show you that what all things what we have, what all things can we do with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So now the application which we had implemented, where we had the 4 components created uh, to just to get the event information, that the calendar events which I have, and I can add the calendar information, so that I can get with a single line of code, and I'll show you that. Okay, this is my agenda. Yes. And with one line of code, you see here that all these 4 events are popped up. Okay, so these are the 4 events which I have created in my Outlook. So these are the 4 events. Okay, for the next 3 days, what all events are available, all those events are displayed on your screen with just one line of code, which is this. Okay, you just write MGT agenda, and then the display, it is displayed on your screen. Not only that, if this is so powerful with the attributes, you can also query the data and display it the way you want. Okay, so let me add this this attribute to the MGT agenda, and you will see that the details, all the events are fetched, and not only that events are fetched, but the events are ordered using the start time and start or date time, the start time of the event. So using date time, the start, you can order the event using the sequence of when it is starting. So you can query the content of the event, for all the events in your application, by just sending the parameters, the attributes from the stack. Okay, we also have let me take this off, and I'll show you the another component what we have, and that is MGT people. But let me show you the MGT people picker, because this is one of the control which I have used in my applications, and it was very difficult for me to do an LDAP query, get the data from the Active Directory, and then map those users, and also get the email information of that user and render it on my screen. So it would take at least days to have this functionality implemented, to pull the users from my Active Directory and show it on the screen. Now I'm writing this line of code, and this is how it is implemented. Okay, I go to my screen, and the control is ready. Okay, I have applied some standard CSS which is available. I'll just show you that the standard CSS which is available, and I see all the users in my Active Directory in my organization. For the dev tenant which I'm using, all the users are available from my organization, and I can search the users. I can search multiple users in this, and this can be done only using one line of code, that is MGT people picker. Okay, now let's go ahead further, and say you have a scenario where you would want that in your people picker, that you want pre-selected users. Okay, the users which are there in your people picker, when the people picker is loaded, you want some users to be pre-selected. So I'm using the object IDs of these users here for the demo, and this default selected user IDs attribute will directly show you the users will be pre-selected. So if you see Adel and Chandler, these are the object IDs which I have used in my application. And once I save that, I am seeing that these are pre-selected. And this is pretty sleek. You everything is available. All the users are available, and this is the custom CSS for this is also available, where Microsoft provides the custom CSS, and you can use that, customize your CSS rather. So this is the standard CSS which is provided. I have customized it, and I have changed the input border to 200 so that it comes in the center of the screen. But this is highly extensible. Now going back to my code, you can add. So there are different. Say you want people, like there are 5 the users which you would like to show on the screen. You can have that. Let me task. I think I would need to add the parameter here. And here as well. You can do a star and get everything, all the components, but you can pick and choose as well. You have an option of picking and choosing the components which you would like to show, and display those components. I'll take the people picker off, and it will give me the tasks. Okay, so the tasks which are assigned to me, all these tasks are visible. This is not I was talking about not only viewing the data, but also creating the data. I'll use project estimation. I can choose the bucket in which I want to put. I can also have the due date for that, and I can also assign it to different users. Yeah, so I can assign the task, and if I save this task, it will be saved, and you can have that created. So this is saved. Okay, I think I have clicked wrong. Yes, I'm only showing assigned to me, so I need to show I need to see all tasks, and because the one which I created just now, project estimation, it was assigned to Chandler, and the second task which I created. And once the tasks are created, you can also manipulate the data from here and mark the task as complete. And once you mark the task complete, that all the tasks are completed as well. You can select the to do task, and the task assigned to me. You can have that. And all this is possible with the single line of code. Okay, going back to my slide. So I said that to have the providers, you can have client ID here added, and you can use it for the providers as well. I showed you the demo. Now just to because there are a lot of properties, there are a lot of functions, and there are so many things which you can play around. There is an app. There is a playground created by Microsoft where you can go in and understand what is similar to Microsoft Graph Explorer. This is the playground where you can understand what all components are available, which components you can use, and this is pretty sleek. Yeah, it is. I really love this when I'm developing using Microsoft Graph Toolkit. I go here, I see the component which I'd like to build. I can also see the documents, around it, that what all properties are available. All this is rendered like this. The properties for which are available. You can see the names of the attributes, the different we used person query, and show name, show email, whatever we would like to show, that is available here. And this is really a good playground area. I would suggest you to go ahead and try your hand on this. Okay. Just and my last slide. Now, to conclude, the advantages of Graph Toolkit and the fast track development. See, you can use Office 365 for fast track development using Graph Toolkit because there are multiple advantages of using Graph Toolkit. First thing, it is cross-browser compatibility. So you can use it all browsers, all modern browsers can use this. It will definitely cut your development time. We have seen the first page where we had. I'll just show you that. We have seen these tons of code what we have written to get just a calendar view and log in the users, and then we have seen just one line of code where we are using and showing it, and we are seeing that it is definitely cutting the development time. It provides a familiar programming model. It is just DOM, CSS, HTML. You can pass on the attributes. You can apply the CSS. It is highly extensible. So it is familiar. It provides you a familiar programming model. So it doesn't require library. It works with all modern frameworks. You want to develop in Angular, you want to develop in React, Vue, whatever framework you choose, you have that, and you can use these libraries to work with it. And this is tightly integrated with the browser dev tools. If you go in your developer tools and see what data is being sent and what data is received, you can also go in your dev tools and get the data and see the data what is being sent. So I would highly recommend you to try your hand. I will upload this code in the GitHub and share it with you. I also have few of the resources. So if you'd like to use the dev playground, I already showed you the MGT dev. There is a blog series available. The documentation for this, for all the components and providers are available. The code which I was running now, I'll upload in the GitHub and share it with you. And this was my demo, and this was the details which I would like to share, and my learning and share. If you have any queries, questions, please go ahead and ask.